Despite already having a cast full of diverse sword fighters, Cloud from the Final Fantasy series does not fail to impress in terms of unique qualities. He's got a projectile, he's super fast, and he has a move which buffs him and his specials. With this DLC character barely being a month old, tons of smashers are looking for information on how to handle him a bit better. This moveset and fundamentals guide will get you on your way to mastering the new character in no time. So what are we waiting for? Let's begin. Cloud's basic jab combo does 8% damage. The first two hits do 2% each, and the final hit does 4%, as well as make Cloud slide forward a bit. Overall, his jab combo isn't that great compared to most characters, especially those with a rapid jab, and the angle it sends enemies at isn't anything special, even at the ledge. On top of that, his jab by itself has a lot of ending lag, and hits way too high to be used as a jab lock after a knockdown. Although you can't really use Cloud's jab combo as an easy way to rack up damage, he has quite a few other useful tools. Forward tilt has a decent amount of range and hits for 11% damage. Despite not being able to angle it up or down, the hitbox starts above Cloud's head and ends near his feet, so it can hit both tall and short characters. Near your opponent, it's a great move to apply pressure while keeping a safe distance, and since it hits harder and sends enemies at a slightly higher angle than Cloud's jab combo, near the ledge, forward tilt is definitely the better option. It also can be used to jab lock enemies after a knockdown, unlike the jab combo, but it's pretty difficult to master. Cloud's up tilt reaches about a character length in front of him and behind him, making it a great anti-air move as well as a useful tool around grounded opponents. At low percents on a large number of characters, you can even combo up tilt into itself. However, heavy characters like Fox and Bowser will fall out even at 0%, but this is a great move to stop aerial opponents as well as pop enemies up to start your own combos. Down tilt makes Cloud slide about a quarter of the length of Final Destination in the Omega stages. It does 6% damage at the beginning of the move and 7% at the end, but enemies are always sent upwards. The move takes a long time to finish if you hit with the start of the slide, but if you aim to hit with the end of the slide, you can then try to combo into other moves. It's one of Cloud's best moves to close the gap and start an offense, however it has quite a bit of ending lag overall, making it fairly easy to punish if shielded, so try not to overuse it. Cloud's dash attack does 11% damage and has a good amount of range. The move causes him to slide and the hitbox starts early and stays out until a little bit after he stops sliding, making it a hard move to challenge. You can use it at the ledge to block mid-air jumps or high recoveries, and it's great on stage, especially if you know your opponent is going to roll. Unfortunately, Cloud doesn't benefit off of grabs nearly as much as other characters do. His forward and back throw are pretty much identical in terms of how you use them. Forward throw does 7% whereas back throw does 6%, however they both send enemies at roughly the same angle. These throws don't allow for any guaranteed follow-ups, however their main purpose is to be used at the ledge to toss your opponent off stage. Down throw does 7% damage and sends enemies behind you. On heavy characters at low percents, you can follow up with an F-tilt or side special if they're not quick enough, but almost every other character can jump or air dodge away if the player reacts. If they are quick enough or just get thrown too far away, try following up with a dash attack or an aerial. It can also be used near the ledge to toss enemies off stage if you don't want to send them as far as back throw would, or if you just want the upwards knockback for a specific follow-up. Up throw does 8% damage and doesn't exactly have any guaranteed follow-ups either. It tosses the opponent into the air in front of Cloud, which could be used to create opportunities for follow-ups, but you have to react to your opponent and watch for the mid-air jump or air dodge and plan accordingly. At the ledge, you'd normally want to use forward throw instead, but occasionally you might want to mix it up for a different follow-up. Forward smash is a 3-hit move that does 18 to 20% damage uncharged and has a ton of knockback, making it a great kill move. Fully charged, it does 26% damage and can kill as early as 40% near the ledge. Unlike side special, Cloud will do the full animation of the move even if he misses, which leaves you wide open for quite some time. However, because the move lasts a long time, you can sometimes hit enemies after they spot dodge. Up smash is a big sword swing in front of Cloud that does 13% damage or 18% if fully charged. Unfortunately, it doesn't have much knockback, so it's not really a smash attack with kill power. Because of the long ending lag and how far it sends opponents, it's usually just better to use up tilts instead for possible combo opportunities. Like many characters, Cloud's down smash hits on both sides. First it hits in front of him and then behind him. If you connect with the first hit, the second hit will connect as well. Uncharged, the first hit does 4% damage and the second hit does 12%. Fully charged, the hits do 5% and 17% respectively. The second hit also has a decent amount of knockback, so if your back is facing the ledge, it's quite a useful kill move, or it can set up for an edge guard. Cloud's neutral air is a circular sword swing that starts from behind him, extends in front of him, and then finishes behind him again just below his feet. It does 8% damage regardless of where you hit with it, and it's quick enough that it auto-cancels before landing. This means that you can use it to control the space in front of you fairly safely, and if you completely miss, you'll be able to choose a defensive option almost instantly. It's a great move to create an opening, and it's also a great edge guarding option since the hitbox extends almost completely around Cloud. Speaking of edge guarding, Cloud's back air is arguably his best aerial in terms of kill power. He swings his sword upwards from his midsection, allowing him to cover the space behind him and above him. It does 13% damage, but the knockback is what really matters. Near the ledge, it can kill most enemies around 100% damage, so using it offstage can net you kills at much lower percents. When edge guarding, if your enemy goes too low to use a back air or they air dodge, you can always try to use neutral air to cover more space. Forward air does 13% damage and can meteor smash opponents if you hit with it as Cloud's sword starts coming down. You can also auto-cancel it and act again after you touch the ground if you full hop and fast fall. It has a ton of range and you can pull back to fade away if you think you're going to miss or hit your opponent's shield. It's got a decent amount of knockback if you don't meteor smash with it, which makes it a good edge guarding tool, similar to Shulk's forward air. Down air is also a meteor smash, but it only spikes if you hit your opponent with the middle of the sword right as the move starts up. The weak hitbox stays out for quite a long time though, which is useful for popping enemies up and creating combo opportunities. The meteor smash hit does 15% damage and the weak hit does 8%. You can also stage spike with a weak hit if you miss with the meteor smash. On stage, it's a great move out of shield to launch opponents, and due to it staying out so long, you can even use it near the ledge to cover multiple get-up options. Saving the best for last, Cloud's up air is amazing. It does 13% if you hit with it right as it comes out and 9% if you get the late hit. It can be short hop auto cancel just like neutral air, and you can even get 2 up airs out in 1 full hop. It's great for juggling enemies, and you can use it right before Cloud lands to launch your opponents up and start a combo. At low percents, the late hit of down tilt can usually combo into up air, and it can trade with quite a few down air options from other characters trying to land. And if you predict your opponent is going to jump, it's an amazing move to catch them and continue the offense. Blade Beam is neutral special, which does 8% with the early hit and 6% with the late hit. You can also use it in the air to stall a little, which can help with recovering, but in the air it does 2% less damage for each hit. It's a projectile, so it can be reflected and absorbed by other characters, but you can also use it to block enemy projectiles. It has a decent amount of startup time though, so it might be wise to only use it if your enemy is far away. At low percents, it doesn't have much knockback either, so using it at close range really isn't worth the risk for the reward. If your enemy is offstage, however, it's a great move to force a jump or an air dodge, or just hit them further away. Side special cross slash is kind of similar to Martha and Lucina's dancing blade. If you hit with it, you can press the special button again to slash again, and if you connect with the second hit, you can press the special one last time for a final 3 hits. Doing 19% altogether, it's a pretty good move for racking up damage. However, at higher percents, enemies can usually jump or air dodge away from the final hits. This is especially bad because it has quite a bit of ending lag, so it's pretty easy to punish if you miss or if your opponent shields. With that being said, use it sparingly at low percents and you can safely rack up a little damage. Climb Hazard is up special, which can also slash downwards with a meteor smash effect if you press an attack button again before Cloud starts descending. The move has 4 hits which do 10% damage altogether, and the first hit has set knockback, making the rest of the hits connect. If you're high enough, Cloud can still grab the ledge after meteor smashing downwards, even if he's facing the other way. Unfortunately, he can only snap to the ledge with his up special if he's right next to it or under it, which means he's extremely vulnerable to being spiked or smashed when recovering from further below the ledge. Climb Hazard also doesn't have that much vertical distance, so many people have said it's nearly as bad as Little Mac's recovery. However, just like Little Mac, you can also wall jump and then up special. Down special is Limit Break, which takes about 6 seconds to completely charge the meter if you input the move. You can also do 250% damage or take 100% damage. Getting hit while charging it doesn't reset the meter, but if you get KO'd, the meter will go back to empty. However, if you and your opponent are trading hits back and forth a lot, you'll notice the Limit Break meter fills up pretty quickly. After fully charging the limit meter, Cloud's running speed increases, his jump height decreases, and his fall speed becomes faster, making him much quicker overall. Cloud can also perform one Limit Break special move, which all gain some awesome properties. Blade Beam becomes a bit stronger and travels a bit further. It also explodes on contact with quite a bit of knockback. The first hit does 19% damage on the ground and 13% in the air, and the explosion does 15% on the ground and 10% in the air. It's a great move for catching people off stage or on the ledge. The Limit Break version of Cross Slash unleashes all 5 sword slashes with just one input of side special. It does 18% damage, but if your opponent is over 75 and near the ledge, it's likely to KO. Up special actually becomes a much better recovery move with Limit Break and will always snap to the ledge. Unfortunately, there's still a small window where you can be meter smashed through the stage before grabbing the ledge, but it's still way better than the default up special. Like all the Limit Break moves, it also has a decent amount of kill power and does 15% damage if you connect with all 4 hits. And lastly, down special becomes Finishing Touch. The move comes out pretty slow and only does 1% damage. However, if your opponent is around 75% or higher, they're likely to be KO'd instantly. This is extremely useful in team battles where your teammate can hit or throw an opponent into the finishing touch. However, in 1v1s it's pretty difficult to use. The move also has a huge win box on both sides of Cloud, which really can come in handy in certain edge guarding scenarios. In terms of kill power in 1v1s, Blade Beam and Cross Slash are definitely your best choices, and sometimes it's even wise to use a Limit Break move before you're sent off stage at a low percent and forced to just waste it on up special. Cross Slash and the Limit Break version as well as Finishing Touch all make Cloud hover for a bit when used in the air, so keep that in mind when using them offstage for creative edgeguard mix-ups. For more tricks and things you can do with Limit Break, check out last week's video. The link will be in the description. Despite being a sword fighter with a projectile, Cloud plays a lot more like a combination of Shulk and Marth rather than Link. His speed and quick moves allow him to really take advantage of small openings and extend them into combos for tons of damage. This doesn't mean to play an all-out offensive Cloud, but you can use his long range and speed to keep your enemies at a safe distance and close the gap when you need to. In addition to his long-ranged moves, his dash dance and foxtrot are very easy to execute and useful for controlling space. Go in with neutral air, dash attack, falling up air, or down tilt when in the neutral phase, and all of his aerials are great follow-up moves depending on the direction and how far you hit your opponent. You can also follow up with Blade Beam to help set up with edgeguard since Cloud's recovery is a bit risky. In conclusion, you want to play patiently and control the space between you and your opponent with a combination of long-ranged attacks, quick moves, and dashing in and out. Move in quickly and punish when you see an opening, and that's when you rack up damage. Out of shield, you can use moves like neutral air, up air, and down air. To start combos, you can use falling up air, neutral air, down tilt, or up tilt. For edge guarding, you can use Blade Beam as well as all of Cloud's aerials except for up air. And for on-stage kills, you can use forward smash, down smash, back air, up air, side special, and almost all of Cloud's Limit Break specials. And this is just a guide to get you started. You might find that certain moves work better than the ones that I've suggested in certain scenarios. Feel free to post anything interesting that you find out about Cloud in the comments below. And if you're looking for more Cloud action, just check out my 2-day Cloud montage by clicking the top video. Or if you want to watch my guide on Ryu, just click the bottom video. If you're on a mobile device, all of the links will be in the video description below. I'm a.k.a. SMASHCENTRAL. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, and happy smashing.